What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be installing new vent lines on our FCR Keihin carburetor. So this procedure for installing vent lines is very similar whether you have a two-stroke Keihin or Mikuni carburetor. We're just going to go through step by step on what it takes to get some new vent lines and get this thing tricked out and blinged out with some new colored AP3 vent lines. All right, so we got our carburetor here. We're at the workbench. So these FCR carburetors, they have 5 vent lines. So you got 2 on the top here, another 2 on this side of the carburetor, and then there's basically a drain line that's going to be coming off the bottom of the bowl. So that's pretty common. So most of your carburetors are kind of in between 3 vent lines to 5. And so, as you can see, obviously there's no vent lines really on this one. I got like a little white line that I had on there that I was kind of showing somebody how to do an install. Which gave me the thought that I should probably do an install video for you guys so you can see what's going on. So we're going to be putting on an AP3 vent kit. We got all kinds of different colors, even like the pink, which is your standard vent line color. So check out ap3.com and we got all kinds of different vent line colors and a couple other carburetor accessories. The big thing with these kits is that they actually have enough vent line to do an entire carburetor and even run like extra length. It's one of the things that we ran into in the past with using some other brand kits and stuff, is that you get halfway through the project and you only have enough line to do 3 of your vent lines, and so that's no good. So these kits are long enough. You're gonna have some material actually left over. You may even be able to help your buddy out with a couple lines just out of one kit. So first step, I'm gonna pop this guy off here, and then we'll get one of these vent line kits opened up and show you what you need to do. All right, so we're going to start installing the vent line on this carburetor. So the first step is you're going to want to cut the vent line to the length for your application. So you can either use your old vent line as kind of a template for cutting the length, or you can just measure it off, or just cut to fit, or cut it the first one long. Like I said, you're going to have some extra material with this kit. So once you're cut to length, you're going to want to go ahead and stretch out the end of this vent line. What that's going to do is help get it seated fully on the carburetor. And it's a little bit, it might seem like it's too small, but the whole idea is that these things go onto the carburetor and they're very secure once they're installed. And then they'll still fit through your locating loops and everything on the carburetor. So I like to take a set of needle nose pliers and go ahead and just kind of work them in the end of the line. And basically what that's going to do is start opening up that end of that vent line. So it kind of gets to that, and then you're going to go ahead and take the full end of the needle nose pliers and insert them into the vent line, kind of push them down as far as you can. And then you're just going to spread the vent line nice and wide. And so adding a little bit of heat can help. It's pretty cold in our shop right now, so you're gonna probably have to work it a little bit more than you would if you're in California or Texas or something like that where it's nice and warm. So yeah, basically just kind of keep working that line. And you want to make sure you get it nice and stretched out. Don't be worried, like you can really put a lot of pressure on these things. The material is really strong. The other thing you can do too is if you have a smaller set of needle nose pliers, these ones will actually work their way down a little bit further, and that gives you a better stretch further into the line. So you can really do it with either set of pliers, but maybe a smaller set can make it a little bit easier for you. All right, so that should be pretty stretched out. Now what we're going to do, I like to use like a little bit of like carb clean. This is an electronics cleaner, basically the same type of chemical. It dries super fast. Just gonna go ahead and wet that surface. And then we're gonna take our vent line. And work it all the way down until it's flush. now we got the first line on. Basically, we're going to do the same procedure for the rest of the vent lines. So we'll kind of speed that up. There's not really anything different. Some of the different fitting types kind of vary a little bit more. Like this one on the side of the carburetor, this actually doesn't have any recesses or anything to like kind of get the line caught on. So these usually slide on a little bit easier. The plastic fittings usually slide on really nice and easy as well. So yeah, go ahead and cut to length the rest of your lines and go through the same procedure of stretching out the end of the vent line. A little bit of carb clean. You can use like a WD-40 or something like that as well, and get the rest of your vent lines on. All right, now that we got all of our vent lines on, so we got all 5 of them on, you can kind of go through and start organizing your vent lines to kind of be routed like stock. So your vents that are going up, you want to loop them up and over the carburetor and then back through the loops locating on the back of the carb. So the FCR carbs and most of the McKeans, they all have these locating loops on the back side here. So up and over. Here's our other one, same thing, down through the locating loops. Now you can use a zip tie up top if you want to keep them located close together, but that's not necessary. Like that. If you need to, you can bend your loops a little bit. And then your vent lines coming out the side of the carburetor, go ahead and slide them into that back slot. Do the same on the other side. Boom. So just like that, you got some new carb vent lines on your FCR carburetor. We go ahead and run a couple zip ties down here along the bottom to kind of keep all your tubing located. And then once you get it installed on the motorcycle, just make sure your vent lines are away from anything hot, exhaust, or pinch points, whether it's chain or suspension. And that's it. You got some new fancy vent lines on your carburetor. So anyways, be sure to check out more videos from AP3. Or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on our contact form on ap3racing.com. And we'll see you out there on the track or on the trails.